All right, first non-podcast video of the off-season, and we need to catch up on a lot of emails. So for those of you who are new to the channel, we podcast Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. It's going to be rigidly those days now because there's no games for us to recap, although we'll do summer league recaps. I think that'll be the plan.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes in drafts. So there'll be intermittently other shows, but as a part of that, we do email sections, but we've been behind on them. So we're going to catch up on the emails today. You guys can email us at hptcpod@gmail.com. That's hptcpod@gmail.com. Make sure to send in the emails. So read them every single show after the Celtics section. So right in the middle of the podcast. So without further ado, though, let's check them out. Okay. I'll put it on the screen so we can check them adequately. And let's dive right in. First email, or I guess the latest one of the ones we have not checked in on yet, was RJ, who spoke to us on May 12th. As we're recording this, it's May 18th, so a week ago. Again, very sorry. Stuff, games, it is. My wish for Wednesday, says RJ. Evening, folks. Man, tonight is a brutal reminder that tomorrow is promised to anyone. So my wish for Wednesday is the Garden fans stand from opening tip. Don't sit for the entire game. Well, put their respect and admiration on the Celtics, all of them that they deserve. Maybe it's the final game of the season. Maybe not. The C's still have a lot of amazing ballers, and Joe can't get blood out of the hardwood. But stand and acknowledge what this team has done for the past 2 years. Hug it out with the people you love, and be well, everyone. RJ, who was a virtual for all the HBTC family. I assume this is after the Tatum injury. Some perspective on all the stuff that happened there.
Yeah, well, you kind of got your wish. Really good crowd on Wednesday. They won. They fought. Essentially blood on the hardwood. Jalen left it all on the floor, diving into the bench. Like, you pretty much painted the picture, RJ. Got a great win.
Indeed, great win. RJ again says the price of fandom is sometimes foolish hope. Hey, folks, I get it. Invoking the spirit of the hospitable Celtics might be optimistic to the point of silliness. Reading these in hindsight is less fun, but putting your trust and hope in rooting for the players who take the floor is what fans do, even if they face ludicrous odds, maybe so. We invest belief for 48 minutes to basketball and cheer for the team we love. Then we know the outcome, and I think that 48 minutes of hope in the face of unlikely success, foolish though it may seem, is far more enjoyable than getting a head start on tossing dirt and coffin on the season. This email won't be ready until after Game 5, so I'll look silly and overly optimistic or not. Time and the Celtics will tell. Be well, RJ, who, after living through so many downturns in my Celtics fandom, sees no reason to rush things along needlessly. Well, if we had read this after Game 5, it would have been great. We did not, so we are sorry.
RJ burned his crystal ball in Game 5. He didn't have it for Game 6. Game 6, it was maybe the opposite. No belief for probably like the last 42 minutes of that game. Let's say 36. They played a solid first quarter, and then it got worse.
Yeah. Isaac says today is the day after the Celtics lost in Game 3. And this has to be the worst day for me as a Celtics fan besides trading Marcus. I assume he means Game 4. Even though it was a close game going into the fourth, I'd trust the Knicks more than I trust the Celtics to pull through. But last year, especially against the Indiana series, we made clutch buckets of plays. My question is, do you think the Celtics are clutch this year and why? Oh, no, maybe this is Game 3. I'm not sure what game this is after. I think this is after.
It might have been Game 4.
Game 4,
The 12th was the day the Achilles went.
Do I think the Celtics are clutch this year? I do think they were significantly more clutch this year in the regular season and in the Magic series for the most part. Less so in the Knicks series.
They definitely weren't clutch in the Knicks series. They had like ups and downs in the regular season. They had some game winners from Tatum, which are pretty cool. Got the one in New Orleans where there was the courtside phone cam of him staring right into the camera, which was sick.
Yep.
But then you also had games like the Atlanta game where, what did he throw it out of bounds? What was the crazy way they managed to lose that game against the Hawks at TD Garden in
He tried to pass it instead of just accepting a foul, yeah.
Okay, so there was that, and then there was a Bulls game, a Kings game, and maybe one more that they just melted. It was one of those spots after they had a great road trip, and then they came home and they just
I think
had
the
nothing
problem with those games is they are much louder than the successes, and so we think they are more than they are. Because, I mean, we looked at the stats for the playoffs. The Celtics were the definition of the clutchest team in the NBA. Like, they had the best clutch winning percentage in the league. And so I understand that. I'm not saying you're wrong, because, like, those did happen and they were bad, and clearly it didn't pan out in the next series. But I just think those are so much louder because we expect the opposite. And so when the expectation is you never mess up, your mess ups are always going to be louder than when you succeed. And so I think there's a little bit of an unfair, not even unfair, because that's just what comes with being a contending team. But like, I do think you have to like kind of remind yourself of that balance, because like you had, all of the Tatum's game winners against the Pelicans, and you had a couple later in the seasons, and then you had all the Derek threes he hit. You had all of the, defensive moments that we've seen. We've seen the Pritchard, Bulls game earlier in the season in that fourth quarter. Like that won't be a clutch game, but like they were dead, and then they weren't because he was clutch.
And it was a cup game.
Yeah, there's moments. So I think they were a clutch team, but not when it mattered. So I guess it doesn't matter.
I mean, they had a 26-point comeback against the 76ers. They had the April 8th game at Madison Square Garden where Tatum hit the buzzer beater to send it to overtime, and they won in overtime. Like, they had moments. I think you could argue either side of the fence this year, but you would be, like, completely missing the mark if you were just, like, not clutch.
Yeah. Troy, we knew it was coming, but not like this. This is from May 13th. Hey, guys, let's face it. Anything that happens tomorrow pales in comparison to the reality of Tatum's injury. We have defended and loved our great guy leader who is realistically a corny, caring father who plays ball for a living, ball capital B. It is hard for us to comprehend the indestructible Jason Tatum will not be lacing up his sneakers tomorrow night as he wills us to another ECF against all odds. Note, this email doesn't include my usual stats or analytics because it doesn't matter. The weird thing about sports is I know very little about Jason in reality, and he knows absolutely nothing about me. But at times like this, I feel like the immense pain and loss, like he is one of my best friends. I do know, however, what it's like to not be able to do things you love and even not be able to do things that make your life what it is. We can start talking about what this means to the C's after tomorrow night's game, but I have a weird request, which would probably be slightly embarrassing. Oh, shoot. When you next see Jason, can you thank him on behalf of all of us for giving it his all, and then some, and tell him we look forward to having him back on the court so we can ride with him throughout the rest of his career. Half that is me and half that is my 6-year-old son. He tells me he needs the day off school in his first game back so we can watch together. Signing off for now. Troy, give him the day off, Troy. And
give him. We should all have the day off. Well, not us because we have to be there, but people that have to go to like an office, day off.
Yeah, we're probably not going to talk to Tatum for a little while, but
no.
Send him the well wishes. I'm sure he'll appreciate the thought wherever it comes from. Game 5 vibes. This is from Alika Krowich. Thank you very much. Jaylen Brown kept his promise. He went to war for this team in Game 5. I'm Aleka, in case you're unsure of the pronunciation. I had the worst night of my life when Tatum got injured, and they lost Game 4. My partner and I are from Boston, but I've been camping in Montana a while I do some journalism work in the area. It's been raining, and I cried in the car for hours after Game 4, picked random flights, and lost my mind. I'm elated after the Game 5 win. Luke, White, and Jaylen Brown. This game makes me feel like the Celtics are as deep as they were last year. It reminds me that this is a super team. Another road forward will be hard. Sorry. And at the worst, this is a win for us, the fans. At best, this makes me feel the Knicks are bums, just like I thought, and the Celtics have to fight to put them on their asses. So much respect for Jaylen Brown. What are your thoughts on JB's performance? Do you think he will stay in the team next season as its leader with Tatum out? Also, do you guys think the team can win the championship without JT? No. I'm so desperate for hope, and I kind of do, but bring me back down to earth if necessary. All in all, just saying this was for us, for Tatum. I love this team, love the pod. Win or lose, we got this. Well, thank you, Aleka.
Thank you.
Sorry we didn't read this earlier. We were bouncing around. But to answer your questions, no, I don't think they can win without JT this season. Maybe next season. And then the JB's performance was great. I mean, we detailed that, but the biggest thing I think here is, do you think T will stay on the team? I say yes. I don't think there's any way they trade Jaylen.
I think so too. I know there are people out there stirring it up. So some of our CLNS colleagues maybe perhaps saying maybe trade Jaylen. I'll tell you who doesn't want to trade Jaylen is my mom. She was like, they better not trade him. She was pissed today talking about it. I hope they don't trade him. Granted, front offices don't make decisions off of one game, but watching Game 5, I was like, can't do it. Can't trade him. What a leader. And I think that is largely true. I think Jaylen is someone with great character, and he is the person you want trying to lead a team next year that is not going to have like I wouldn't say like a cakewalk to a championship. Like that's not the right thing, but like that's not the road that they're taking next year. The road is just doing their best. And I think he's someone that can lead them down that road.
Yeah, you don't trade Jaylen. Like I said this last podcast, Jason Tatum didn't like leave forever. Like you don't close the window. Kornet solo and Celtics orchestra from RJ, evening all. That was a fun game 5. Almost everyone, yes, I'm looking at UKP, pitched in and drove the Celtics to a 25-point victory. But for Derek White's 24, 3, and 2, and JB's 26, 8, and 12 assists, I got to give the love to the vibiest vibesman who ever vibed, Luke Kornet, 10 points, 9 rebounds, and assists to steal, and 7 incredible blocks that led him to playing the most minutes of any of the Celtics centers. The man was like a 7-foot-tall Energizer bunny on the court. Celtics are only 2 games away from advancing to another ECF, but they still need to take it one game at a time. See everyone Friday. Be well, RJ. Who 12 assists? JB, really? Damn. Damn indeed. JB was awesome. He proved he can do it, but it stopped there.
Yeah, well, Jalen came to play on Friday. He wasn't perfect.
Mm-hmm.
He brought it. He tried.
He tried. Indeed, he tried. Next, RJ again, the end of 24-25, nibbled to death by Ducks. This is officially into the emails after Game 6. Evening or morning, folks. I'm writing this as I'm listening to Saturday HPTC drop. Always fun to hear Jake helping out. I'm going to have some longer thoughts later, but one thing that stands out to me for the season as a whole, erosion is a subtle, almost invisible killer. This was an entire year, everyone being X% of last year at different times. KP's surgery followed by his illness, Al needing more time management, JB's knee, D. White, Drew, and JT recovering from the Olympics. Hauser's back. No one person diminished the Celtics' chances. Just the entire team was nibbled to death by Ducks. Do the Celtics advance further if they throttle back a little bit in the regular season and get the 2 seed by 3 games rather than 10? Probably not, but the less mileage on the C's top 8 wouldn't have hurt. Celtics resuscitated their January doldrums in the past 2 weeks. Crappy timing that. It was a fun year until it wasn't, and then it crashed and burned in the meanest, ugliest possible fashion. By the way, the most joke quote of the year was about KP a few days ago. Porzingis couldn't breathe, so he was available if absolutely necessary. If the dude could not breathe, why the fuck was Joe even considering playing him, sit him, figure out a game plan without him, and go from there? I hope people look into Joe's player usage. Anyway, do well, everyone. RJ, who hope his Cubs keep the shit together this summer now. Let me look at the Cubs record for you.
I had the same thought. I was like, let's check in on the Cubs. I'll tell you.
19, top of the NL.
Not bad.
There you go. You got something.
There you go. There are no Red Sox who just can't get out of their own way. Every time I get a Red Sox notification on my phone, because I don't have Nesson, so I can't watch the games. Shout out to Nesson for making it impossible to watch their product. They're never doing well. The Devers walk-off on Saturday was cool. Had a grand slam Sunday, and then, much like Game 6, it got worse.
Indeed. Joe's player usage is what it is. I mean, I think there are coaches who have a lot worse player usage, and one's in the conference finals now. So I think it's all like a give and take, a push and pull. Like, it is what it is. It sucks that it happened this way. It's unfortunate, but I think what you said in the middle was the most important. Like, I don't think sitting guys for an extra 5 days would have prevented everything that happened. I just think it is what it was, and it happened how it happened. But yeah. RJ again, everything old is new again. Another 2:48 a.m. letter, but it happens when I take a 2-hour nap after the game. The drop from the high spot of Game 5 to Friday's night. Season ender sucks, but it reminded me of a Celtics memory around the last time the Knicks were relevant. In 2002, the C's were back in the playoffs for the first time since the Pitino Interregnum. Not only back, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, having delivered an elimination game beatdown to the Irish and Sixers and showing the Pistons the door in 5 games. After splitting the first 2 games in New Jersey against the Nets, the Celtics were eating a bag of rocks in Game 3 as they trailed by 26 in the third quarter. Then Twan yelled Paul during the quarter break, and Pierce led an amazing 41-19 comeback in the fourth to pull out a 94-90 victory at the Fleet Center, as it was called then, putting Boston up 2-1. Of course, the Celtics went on to win the series and proceed to win Banner 17 over the Kobe Shaq Lakers in the fight. Well, no, that isn't how it played out at all. Their memorable Memorial Day weekend win was the last victory they had that year, as the Nets took the next 3 games and sent the guys packing off to their summer vacation. Imagine Friday night's unraveling played out over 3 games rather than 3 hours, and with less Spike Lee. For more recent fans, you may turn to the 22 finals against the Warriors. I felt like crap after that series too. I feel like crap right now, but the crap feeling will eventually pass. The memories of Wednesday's Game 5 will stay in place long after the Pacers dispatch the Knicks, and we'll be back to rooting for the 25-26 team and monitoring JT's recovery. But it's okay to feel like crap right now. Be well, RJ, who reminds folks that all the memories make up your fandom, not just the pleasant ones. Yes. Go Pacers.
Go Pacers. I got
I don't even
the
hate-
Indiana All-Star shirt
I
on.
don't even hate the Knicks. I want whatever team comes out of the Eastern Conference to win the finals. That's what I need.
Oh,
All I want.
no.
Yes, please.
Pacers, yes. Knicks, no. Can't have that.
Give me either. Don't care.
What's it called? Listen, man, some of the losses. I don't know if we did this before. Did we ever do like a power rankings of the worst losses we've ever seen?
No.
Listening to this email, I was like, that'd be a video for like August.
Well, sure,
Just
we can do that.
thinking about 2022 Game 4.
Sounds
I mean, that
fun.
that playoff run had so many tough losses. I mean, Game 5 against the Bucks was one of the worst ones. Like,
That was rough.
could barely sleep. Had to go into do the news in the morning the next day. I was so mad. I was furious. Sick to my stomach. All right, enough from me.
Troy says, an end of an era. Hey, guys, now that we have been put out of our misery, we can call it now. This is the end. The roster is too expensive, and due to the Tatum injury, there's no reason for the owners to pay to keep this roster together. For me, there are only two untradeable players, JT and Derek. I assume KP and Drew are gone. The question comes to Jalen. I've never been a break up the Jays guy, but I'm looking at Jalen, and I think he's personally is ready. Understanding the need, but I think there's a lack of wanting to sacrifice things that made him incredible last year. This showed during the season. It showed in the playoffs. It's not a knock on him. I just think he needs to go and have his own team, which he will only have for a season here. Also, without moving Jalen, I don't think they can get below the aprons. I think next year is a transition year. We build a team of role players. And Jason, it is time. On to my AFL team, who just won by 91 points. So, hey, that isn't bad. That isn't bad. Thanks.
What is the scoring in rugby though? Like, is 91? I mean, I can't imagine a sport where 91
Australian
is not a
football
lot.
league. Australian.
No, I know what it is,
different,
but
not rugby.
it's not the same thing.
Not rugby. 99% sure it's not rugby. Yeah. Which doesn't help the confusion at all, but I'm pretty sure it's different things.
Okay. Whatever it may be, I wonder what the scoring.
Yeah. Let us know what the scoring is, Troy. I don't think they trade Jalen. Unless Jalen wants his own team. I don't think.
I just feel like this is the worst possible time for the Jalen wants his own team argument.
Yes, but you also run the risk of and I'm not saying this will happen because I don't think it'll happen. What if Jalen leads this team really well next year, then JT comes back? Is he just going to be like, yeah, here, go ahead. I just showed you I can lead this team to be a playoff team and a high-level team, but yeah, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, then
it might be sharpening the tools type of deal. But I had the thought, too, as I was thinking about it, the Kyrie year when they went to the conference finals and then everyone came back and there was like, hey, man,
exactly,
you guys are done. And they had beef, so.
Exactly. We'll see. Michael Bevis. Oh, my God. Jesus.
A lot of players here.
Putting this in the universe, not picks included yet, but this includes SA 25 second overall to Boston for Harper. So the Celtics get the second overall pick in this trade. Jesus Christ. Okay, first of all, the Bucks would spit in your face.
The Bucks don't want Keldon Johnson and Rui.
Well, he also said the second overall pick goes to Boston. If I'm the Bucks, I need Stephon Castle, the second overall pick, and then maybe I'll look in your direction. The Lakers, I don't think would trade Austin Reeves for what we saw from Kristaps Porzingis. I don't think this, maybe the Celtics do this deal. No.
They get plus 5 wins.
Yeah, no, this is not. I'm sorry, this is not realistic, unfortunately.
I'd love to know how they calculate the estimated wins, because
I assume it is just raw estimated wins added per player plus minus.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming. I don't actually know, but I'm just guessing. Which is a flawed system because Austin Reeves could add 5 wins to the Lakers, but be put in a different role and technically add 2 wins. So it's it's not real. But yeah, no. The Bucks are not getting nearly enough back. I don't care how many picks you add because it's just bad. The Spurs are getting too much for what they're giving up, even with the second pick. The Lakers are giving up 2 productive players for 0 productive players. One maybe productive. They're giving up 2 definitely productive players for 1 maybe productive player because you don't know if he'll be on the court.
That's fair.
At least you know
he's never productive.
You don't know if he will be productive next season. You have no idea of knowing. We don't know what this illness is. With what we saw in the playoffs, if it doesn't shake at all, then you're not going to get a productive player. And on top of that, he's injury prone. I'm saying the Lakers are giving up 2 players who have played 70 to 80 games the last 2 years at high production for a guy they don't know will play. Jordan Walsh, who hasn't played meaningful minutes in the NBA yet, and Pat Connaughton, who, I mean, shit, man, it's 2025. It's unfortunately just not realistic in my opinion. Anyways, thank y'all for the emails. If you want to keep sending us trade ideas, we will keep reviewing them, but we will be honest. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate the emails. Keep sending them. We're still here every single day on the channel, so keep sending them. And I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Been a good weekend for us, I think. Good turnout to the videos here. I know probably a lot of Knicks fans came out to watch us talk about the season ending. But we do appreciate you if you're new. Thank you for subscribing. If you're newer than those people, subscribe because we're here every day. New content drops Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. Other videos are on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the 2 of us streaming live for pregame when the season is going. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there, so if you just want those, go ahead, follow. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We would appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You saw us read them all today. We usually read them on the recordings. Brad Stevens is going to talk this afternoon as you're hearing this, so if you listen and have things to say, send them in. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe.